Q8 pilot videos are powered by Virtual Fly.
Hello there friends and followers, and welcome to this P3D video. Yes, it has been a very long time since I've done a P3D video, and so today we are going to be flying the 777-300ER Turkish Airlines service from Austria to Antalya in Turkey. It's a beautiful morning here in Austria, and our flight time today to Antalya is 2 hours and 45 minutes, and we're going to be cruising at 37,000 feet. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing we want to do is we're going to head over to the FMC and we're going to set our fuel. We're going to check our fuel here real quick. We're going to need about 24,000 kilos of fuel. So let's set the fuel to 24,000. Return. Payload, we're just going to use random. There we go. And the doors, let's go ahead and close all the doors. Next page, and close all the cargo doors as well. And arm the doors. Okay, so we're done with that. And let's see here, let's set the parking brake. And let's go ahead and take a look here. We're going to start the APU. Looks like the APU is already on. Gears. And we're going to turn on the hydraulics. Oops, there we go. And everything else is fine. Okay. So what we can do now is start programming the FMC position initialization. We are at Lima, Oscar, Whiskey, Whiskey. And let's see here. There we go. We can select that here. Route. I have a company route saved for this flight. Antalya is Lima Tango Alpha India. Co-route, activate and execute. And let's go ahead and select our departure. We are going to be departing runway 11 today here at Vienna through the, let's see here, T2 Alpha, I believe that's the one. Let's double check that real quick. Yep, the T2 Alpha. So that's the one there. And route, and we can execute. Let's select our arrival into Antalya, and we are going to be arriving through the, let's see here, through the Kozlo 1 Delta. That's the one there. 1 Delta, and ILS runway 18 center. Let's see if there is any transitions here. No, we're just going to go execute, and now we're going to head over to the performance initialization. Our zero fuel is set, reserves. Let's check our flight plan real quick. The final reserves 2.9, so we'll just say 3. Cruise altitude is 37,000 feet. And the cost index is 59. And we're going to select to derate here. Takeoff, we're going to do flaps 5 today for departure. Center of gravity trim is 5.25, and these are our V speeds. So let's go ahead and set the trim. Let's set it over here and select the checklist. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to select this one. Yeah, there we go. So 5.25 for the trim today. And the trim is set. We're going to turn on the flight directors. We're going to set our altitude to 37,000 feet. And our V2 is 161. Okay, all is looking good now. Okay, the IRSs are aligned and everything's looking good. Let's go ahead and click here on the checklist. Oxygen, yep, everything's checked. Flight controls are checked. Before start, flight deck door is closed. Passenger signs we need to turn on. Okay, passenger signs are done. MCP and our V speeds are set. Takeoff speeds are set. CDO pre-flight is completed. Trim units 0 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing has been completed. And we can now turn on the beacon. And we can remove the ground equipment and call the pushback truck. So let's head over here real quick. And we're going to go to FS Actions. Ground, and we're going to remove everything here. And we're going to head to Vienna. Yep. Okay, so everything is looking good. We're going to set auto brake to rejected takeoff, and we are now ready to start our engines. So let's call the pushback truck. Okay. We're going to do nose to the left today. And there is the pushback truck.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
All right, let's go ahead and turn on all the fuel pumps. Or the ones we need, for that matter. I don't think anything is in the center tank.
Departure check completed. Bypass bin inserted. Release parking brakes.
All right, so we're going to release the parking brake, and there we go.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, and we have clearance to start our engines. We're going to start with the engine number 2, or the right engine first. Okay, and we can give it some fuel. Okay, we have a good start on the right engine. Let's go and start the left engine now. And let's give the left engine some fuel. Okay, let's go ahead and set the parking brake. Looks like the pushback is finally completed. And we're going to select terrain. What is going on here? Ah, there we go. Okay. So we're going to select the, let's see here. We're going to select terrain and airports here. And we're going to select the weather on this side. And we're going to set the TCAS to 2000.
Unlocking gear.
TCAS is set, and we are ready to go. Looks like we have some terrible weather
Tow truck
ahead.
disconnected. Bypass bin removed.
And we're just going to wait for the tow truck to clear. And we can now turn off the APU. APU is off, and everything else is looking good. Runway, we're just going to wait for the tow truck. Otherwise we're going to blind the driver there.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay, so we've received the hand signals. We are clear, so we're going to turn on the taxi lights and runway turn-off lights. And we're going to release the parking brake and head over to the runway. Parking brake released. And let's give it some power. I have made some changes to my settings, my P3D settings, and I've gained some performance gains there after those changes. If you are interested, I can definitely do a video to explain what I have done. I am using Rex Environment Force in this video along with Active Sky, and I'll tell you the clouds, the coloration of the clouds look absolutely fantastic with Rex Environment. So it looks like a lot of you guys are favoring full flights over reviews and tutorials for some reason, and I thought that people were not very interested in full flight videos, and normally it is the case that people are interested in looking really at the takeoff and the landing. At least this has been my experience with full flight videos. But since you guys are wanting me to do more full flight videos, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing more full flight videos on both P3D and X-Plane, and we're going to be doing a variety of aircraft, including general aviation aircraft. I decided to switch gears a little bit this time and do a P3D video, since I haven't really done a P3D video in ages. But really with Skyforce, with Environment Force by Rex and all the goodness, really P3D is looks pretty good. I still prefer X-Plane in terms of realism and just the overall immersion while flying. But as you can see, P3D is still a really outstanding flight simulator, and some of the add-ons are simply great, such as the PMDG, the Majestic-8 by Majestic Software, the A2A range of aircraft. And let me tell you, A2A is, in terms of general aviation aircraft, they are absolutely amazing, very, very realistic. So definitely P3D is not going anywhere anytime soon. It is a serious flight simulator used by real-world pilots, just like X-Plane is, and it is under the umbrella of Lockheed Martin, which is a huge company that actually builds aircraft. So okay, so we're approaching runway 11 for departure, and everything is looking good for takeoff. Alright, we are coming up to our turn to the hold short point runway 11 for departure. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the landing lights and turn off the taxi, turn the strobes, and everything else looks good to me. Okay, runway appears clear, left and right. Okay, we are good to go. Let's get lined up here with the runway. Alright, flaps are 5, landing lights are on, we are good to go. Let's go ahead to about 50% of N1. And we can go to Toga. There we go. V1, rotate. And positive rate of climb, gear is going up. Actually, we could have done LNAV and VNAV before departure on the 777. And flaps are up. We continue our climb now to our final cruise altitude, which is 37,000 feet. We continue our climb now to 37,000 feet, which is our final cruise altitude. 10,000 feet. Let's go and turn off the lights. Just going to leave the strobe lights on, and everything else is looking good. So we can go to the after takeoff checklist, and we are good there as well. Alright, so everything is looking good now for our climb to 37,000 feet. So I'm going to let you guys enjoy the flight, and I will check back with you as soon as we level off. Welcome back, folks. We just leveled off at our final cruising altitude of 37,000 feet, and all is looking good. We are on our way to Antalya. Let's take a quick look at the weather at our destination. Let's go to conditions and put Lima Tango Alpha India. So it's a cloudy weather at Antalya, 19 Celsius, pleasant temperature. We've got a bit of surface wind there, 7 knots at 180 degrees. Visibility is 10 miles. We should be fine. There is no precipitation at our destination. So all is looking good now. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the flight, and we'll check back with you right before the top of descent point. About 30 nautical miles from top of descent, we'll begin configuring the aircraft for our approach and landing into Antalya. Welcome back, folks. We are 24 nautical miles from the top of descent point. So we're going to start configuring the aircraft for our approach and landing into Antalya. It looks like there is some bad weather here. Hopefully we'll be able to avoid it. So first let's set our flaps. We're going to do flaps 25 for our approach and landing, and the VREF speed is 152. We're going to add 5 for wind correction. Okay, so that is now set, and we're going to reset the MCP altitude to 3,000 feet. There we go, 3,000. Okay. All is set, and we are now configured. This is the top of descent point, approximately 17 nautical miles now, and we should start the automatic descent momentarily. One nautical mile to top of descent. And as you can see now, the aircraft has begun the automatic descent to 3,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn on the passenger fasten seatbelt sign. There we go. It appears that we are going to be experiencing some really bad weather ahead of us, as you can see here. But hopefully it's not too bad, and we we'll be able to avoid what's coming on this side here, because we're going to be making a right turn momentarily. So everything's looking good. The clouds look absolutely phenomenal. I'm, by the way, using Rex Force clouds with Rex Environment Force and Active Sky for weather generation. Okay, we'll see how things pan out as we approach Antalya. We are definitely experiencing some turbulence here as we continue our descent towards Antalya. We are at about 24.8 right now. We're a bit too high for our current position, but that's okay. I think we'll be able to make that up as soon as we clear those clouds. We should be fine. We have now begun reducing our speed to 250 knots. That's the FMC speed. All's looking good here. We're going to be doing vectors to final, as you can see here. And since there is no ATC in this flight, what we're going to do is we're going to manually change the waypoint in the FMC after we pass the last waypoint here. Okay, barrel reference is actually 15,000 feet, but that's fine. And we're going to maintain 250 knots until the next waypoint. And at this point, we are going to be reducing our speed to 220 knots. We are now approaching 10,000 feet, and we are going to be turning our landing lights momentarily. We are pretty close to our destination now. All's looking good. Okay, 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights and runway turn-off lights. And you know what? Let's go ahead and turn the wing lights. There we go. And at this point, what we're going to do is, as soon as we pass the last waypoint here, what we're going to do is we're going to just simply select this waypoint and execute. And now we're going to begin our turn towards Antalya again. We are now approaching Antalya, and we have set flaps 580 knots. Let's go ahead and arm the speed brake. Speed brake is armed. And there we go. So we're going to start reducing our speed momentarily. I'm going to go ahead and activate the approach button. There we go. Approach is set. Cabin is ready. And we're going to start descending now to 3,000 at about 800 feet per minute. And all is looking good at the moment. Really a beautiful approach into Antalya. Alright, let's set auto brake to number 2, and that is now set, and we are now ready for our approach. We're a bit too high, but nothing concerning at this point. And the localizer is now captured. And we're going to maintain 180 knots, and we're going to keep flaps 5 until we are 1 dot here on the glide slope from the center point, And then we're going to begin the, here we go, the dot started moving now. We are looking good on the approach. Okay, that's close enough. We're going to reduce our speed to 160 knots now. And lower the landing gear. Flaps 15. And flaps 25. And the landing checklist is now complete. Land 3 is active. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to take over. We're going to turn off the auto throttle. And it's my plane. Looking good. Bit too low.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
And touchdown. Reversers deployed. And welcome to Antalya, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that was I think the approach and landing were okay. We did well in this flight. I really enjoyed this flight from Vienna to Antalya. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making the video for you. And let's see here. We're gonna exit the runway here. And I'm gonna bring the aircraft to a complete stop, and we're gonna take a look at the landing. Okay, I think we are safe to stop here. And let's set the parking brake. And now let's take a look at our landing. Unfortunately, for some reason, I had trouble with the instant replay, but I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.